Stampers, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin with Crafty Klock. Sorry, I had something in my throat. I'm coming to you live from my studio, and tonight we are going to be working with the Splendid Thoughts stamp set. This is coming out in the new mini that will be available tomorrow. But before we get started, I want to do a commercial announcement because my August workshop is going to feature either the Let's Set Sale bundle. Let me try that again. The Let's Set Sale bundle. I'm kind of trying to lower this volume. Okay. Or the Sweetest Cherries. So each of the designs that will be made will be suitable for either stamp set. So if you can't decide, you can use either or do them interchangeably and make one in one, whatever you want to do. So this will probably go live, the registration on July 5th. Let's get through the 4th of July holiday, and I'm going to open registration on July 5th. So stay tuned. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this class. We've got a fancy fold. I think that's cute. And then we've got the layering dioramas. We're going to play with those. All right, so stay tuned. August class, either Let's Set Sail or Swedish Cherries. It's a workshop, not a class. All right, let's get started. As always, we're going to do two projects. One is going to be a simple stamping project, and the other is going to be a little bit more involved, and it's going to be a 3D project. So this is part of the Splendid Day suite that will be in the new mini catalog that launches tomorrow. I'm so excited. If you saw my lesson at lunch on Tuesday, you'll see that I showcased bits and pieces of the Santa Express. I love that train set. I think you're going to want it for your collection. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to work with tonight. So we've got our Splendid Thoughts. Of course, we've got matching dies. I have some out already that will cut out this leaf set, this little, I don't know what that is, triangular leaf set, plus some other little designs. You can cut out that little bumblebee. How cute is that? All right, so let's see what we're going to be working on tonight. Our first project is going to be a simple stamping card. We're using nothing more than our stamps, inks, and paper, and just a little bit of ribbon. And then we're going to do a gift bag. Now, I saw this on the Creativity Now event on June 18th, and I thought it was so pretty. And this paper, this foil paper from this suite is just perfect. So this was designed by Cindy Schuster. She is a Stampin' Up! Employee, and she demonstrated how to make this. And I thought this would be fun to do with all of you. So let me know where you're watching from. I am using StreamYard, so you have to authorize StreamYard to, and I just realized that I didn't show my desk yet. So let's go back and add my desk because I don't know what I'm doing. Let me switch this, and then we're going to go like that. And now you should see my desk. Okay, so we're going to do a simple stamping card that is nothing more than stamps, ink, and paper. All right. And then we're going to do this beautiful gusseted gift bag that was designed, as I said, by Cindy Schuster. She's a Stampin' Up! Employee, and she demonstrated how to make this at the Creativity Now event on June 18th. So I thought that would be a fun project for us to do tonight. And I will have all of the corresponding measurements on my blog tomorrow afternoon. So give me a little bit of time to get it up there. But there will be a corresponding blog entry on my stampinwithcraftyclock.com website. All right, again, let me know if you're here, if you're watching. I said I'm using StreamYard. So if you want to leave a comment, you would have to authorize StreamYard to be able to see you. And let's get started. So my base is petal pink. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25. That's going to go on the inside. I have a piece of the designer series paper. It's the foil on one side. It's plain paper on the other. This is 4 by 5.25. And then I have a piece of basic white that is 3 by 4. Okay? I want to let some of that pretty designer series paper show through. So let's go ahead and get started. So I love that little honeybee stamp. So we're going to take him and we're going to stamp him on the inside of our card. So I'm just going to stamp him like one up there in that corner. Oh, I don't like that. I made a little mistake. I pressed too hard. Little one up there in that corner. There we go. And then we'll put one down here. All right. That's all we're going to do for the inside of our card. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that in. So these are getting low, but I do have a refill here. Okay. Ooh, I hate when that happens. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It just really just tears up the cardstock. And I don't know why. Okay. And we'll put a little bit down here. All right. Let's cut our losses. All right. We're going to go ahead and put this in. Making sure that I am on camera. Now, we're just going to take our designer series paper and put it on the front. Sometimes it's a little hard to do it on this foil paper. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It kind of doesn't. Okay. Let's see if we can get it. This is challenging. There we go. So we're just going to put that on there. Okay. Now, I can move this up just a bit. Okay, we got a little bit more white there. Okay. Now, we're going to take our 3 by 4 and we're going to use soft sea foam and petal pink. So I'm going to stamp the open leaf image in our soft sea foam. And let me just make sure that this is clean. I realize the noise is very loud when I move things. And I have Trooper down here chewing on a bone. So it might get really loud. All right. So we have that. Actually, I wanted to put it more towards the top because I wanted to leave room for my sentiment. So let me redo that. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, the next one is, it doesn't line up exactly, which I know for some people will drive them crazy, but it's supposed to be like that artsy, artistic look. So I'm going to ink this one up in our petal pink. And I do want to stamp it off a little bit because I thought it was a little too harsh. So now I'm going to try as best as I can to sort of line this up. And it's really just a guessing game. All right, that's not so bad. So that's all we're going to do there. Now we're going to take our soft sea foam again, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. I believe I have today is a day to remember. You know, with the 4th of July coming up, if you change these colors to like red, white, and blue and use today as a day to remember, make a little 4th of July card. All right, now we're going to take, and we want to put some ribbon like zigzagging across the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some adhesive Okay, and I'm going to leave my ribbon on the spool for now. Okay, I'm going to take it. I'm just going to lay it down there. Catch it. I'm going to fold it over and lay it down there. This isn't a really hard technique, but it kind of gives you that zigzag look. And there we've got that. Now I'm just going to cut this. And I don't know where my paper snips are, the good ones that can cut through ribbon. Some of them are not very sharp. Okay. Then we're going to take our dimensionals and we're going to put them on our back. Now I'm going to put some kind of over where this ribbon overlaps, just to kind of help keep it on there. Not that I think we need it, but you never know. I cut myself trying to make dinner tonight. I was slicing nectarines and I missed and sliced my finger, which really wasn't very good, but all's well that ends well. So anyway, that's why I got the Band-Aid on. It's sticking to everything. Okay. And there you have it. Now, if you wanted to dress this up a little more, you could add some Wink of Stella. You could add some embellishments, some gems. You could add more stamping. You could really do whatever you wanted. But for just a simple stamping card, all we did was stamps, ink, and paper. And we did add a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to try to trim this just a little bit. Okay. And this one. Thanks. There we go. I think really any beginner can really do this card, and people that are more advanced can sort of embellish it as much as they want. Okay, so that is our first card. And as you'll notice, we now have 2 cards, which we might use in our next project. All right, so this bag I'm really excited about. So you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper, and this paper is so gorgeous. I don't know which color I want to use. Ooh, kind of like this color. Oh, let's use this one because it's got that cute little bumblebee. All right, so we want to cut this. Just get this out of the way for a minute. Open this up. We want to cut this to 7 by 9.5. Why am I not figuring this out? There we go. It's been a long day. All right, so these I'm gonna cut them together. They're pretty thin, so I think I'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to do 7. All right. And now we're going to turn it and cut it by 9.5. Okay, 9.5. All right. Now we've got some scoring. So let me bring in my scoring tool. Back over there. All right. Here, we want to score with the 9.5-inch side at the top. And I want this to be the bottom of my bag. So I'm going to put it with this side out towards the 9.5. And I want to score it at 3/4 and then again at 8. Now press lightly because DSP is like lighter weight than cardstock, so you don't need to press very hard. All right, so we have 3/4 and 8 inches. All right, here we go. I'm excited to announce that beginning Monday, July 11th, I am going to start a Monday night mystery stamping. We'll start about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully we'll go till about like 9. And I'll post the list of supplies like Friday night before, and it'll be live on my YouTube channel, Crafty Clock. All right, so what with the 7-inch side across the top, we want to score it at 1/2 inch. We want to stop down here at about 7.5 inches. Okay, and then we want to score it at 5.5. Again, we want to stop about 7.5. And then we want to score it at 6.25. Okay. All right. Okay. So same thing on the other piece. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Stopping at about 7.5, at 5.5. Again, stopping at about 7.5, and at 6.25. Stopping about 7. Okay. So there we have everything is scored. All right, let's move this out of the way. Okay, whoops. Oops. All right. Now, these little spots here, these little 1/2 inch by like 1.5 inch right there, those need to be cut away. Okay. Cut that like that. Okay. And then this one just needs to be cut, like trimmed a little bit. Okay. Because those are going to form the flaps for the bottom of our bag. All right. Just come up here. I'm just kind of eyeballing where I think a 1/2 inch is. Pretty close. And again, same thing. We're going to cut this all the way up here. All right. So now we've got those two. Now let's add some tear and tape. So I'm going to put tear and tape down this whole flap. It is called tear and tape. You can just tear it off. You can cut it if you want. You can take, some people take a block. They'll put like a block right there and just rip against it. Okay. Now we're going to put 2 pieces on the larger bottom flap. Okay, one sort of near that fold line, and then one towards the edge. And then we're going to add one here on this smaller flap. Make sure you don't get it to stick like I did. We're going to put a little piece there on the edge, towards the edge. Okay, there we go. Now, do the same thing on this one with one exception. This one on the skinny, long edge. And then we're just going to put a little bit here. This is going to be like the outside bottom of our box. So we don't need to have anything there. All right. There we go. Okay, so let's do some score. Just gently fold on your fold lines so that you have them ready. Okay, don't fold. You don't have to paper, like you use a paper bone. We just want to just sort of gently get those little folds in there. Okay, just gently. Okay, all right. Just kind of gently folding them. Sort of gently pre-creasing them. All right. Now, let's make sure that we've got these on here really well. So if you have your paper bone, just go ahead and take your paper bone and really rub them up and down here really well. I'm just going to use my thumbnail because I don't know where I put my bone. It was over here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Just gonna make sure. Gonna get that on there pretty good. And tear and tape is really good when you're making three-dimensional projects like bags and boxes and calendars and all that stuff. Okay. Let's take off this side first. So what we want to do is we're going to just rip this tear and tape off. Okay, move that out of our way. And now we're going to line up this edge with this edge. So, and that's why I sort of asked you to fold them a little bit, because it makes it easier to see. Sometimes it's hard to see with this foil paper. Okay. So there we go. Now we've got that all done. So now we're going to fold this edge in. Okay, we're going to take off our tear and tape. And this edge is going to come over and meet it. Okay, so that they should meet up exactly on the edges. I am having a rough time with this. Okay, woo. There we go. It always works so much easier when I'm doing it for practice, and then when I come on live, it's always like a, I don't know, show. You know what kind of show. All right, so now we're going to take off the ends, these ends, the little end flaps. We're going to fold this piece over. Okay, so you want to make sure the piece with the tear and tape on it is going to be the inside flap, and the flap with nothing on it is your outside flap. All right, so we're going to take off this, if I can get it. Of course, I'm going live, so of course it's not going to work. Let's see, that didn't really stick. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Sure that is. Okay, so I'm going to press this down. Okay, I'm going to turn it. I'm going to make sure that I'm just going to kind of gently, if you have something long, like if, I don't know, like a long scissor, or like you could take this and just kind of make sure that it's down. Now, some of the other pieces that I had cut, you can take, which I think I forgot to do. No, here it is. Okay, we have, oh no, I didn't. Well, I can cut it. All right, so we want to cut this to 1 inch, 1.5 inches by 5 inches. And this is just an extra step. You don't necessarily have to do this, but this is going to give us like a little piece for the bottom that's going to give that bag a little more stability. So we're just going to kind of put that down in there. Let's see. Okay, so can you see that? There's a piece of white, the white paper just down in there. Now gently, we want to kind of fold these in, okay? Creating that gusset on each side. Okay, we're going to fold this to the back. Now, if I were ready, if I had already had things in it, I would take a piece of ribbon, probably about 20, 25 inches. I'm going to wrap it around once, and I'm going to tie it in a bow. And then we're going to make this pretty little tag to kind of go right on our bow. So I have a piece of fresh freesia that we cut to 3-inch square. And then I used our new die set from the annual catalog, listen to me. I forget what they're called. Something shapes. I'll put it in the blog post what it is. But it's the second largest circle. And we cut out a circle from that 3" by 3" square. And now we're going to stamp that open leaf image. If I can find where I put my stamp. Always such a mess. Okay. So at first I wasn't really sure that I liked this suite, but now I really think I do. Hey Debbie, how are you? So we're gonna just ink this up. And if you know it, I love doing tone on tone stamping, and it doesn't really matter. Obviously it's gonna come off. But there we have that. Okay, then I took a piece of Calypso Coral and I die cut out one of those leaf images. Okay, we're just going to put that on here with some glue dots in a minute. And then I cut out, this comes like with this half circle. It could either be like, you know, like a pot for plants. Flip it up this way and you can have your plants, you know, coming up out of there. If we did this in a different color, we could have that coming up out of a pot. You could like run it through an embossing folder to give it some texture. But for this, we're just going to use it as a sentiment. So I've got here this little thing, and I have sending hugs, and I thought I had Memento Black, but I don't know where it went to. So we'll just do this in our fresh freesia. No reason why we can't. Okay. I must have moved my Memento Black. All right, sending hugs. Oh, that's a little crooked, but it'll be all right. All right, now let's assemble our little tag. Okay, so I've got my glue dots over here. Somewhere I had glue dots. Why am I always searching for things? I have everything right at hand, and then they disappear. All right, there's the glue dots. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a sweater when it's, you know, like 80 degrees out, it's because our home is roughly the same temperature as a meat locker. My husband likes it very cold. I do not like it this cold, but rather than him be hot, I just throw on a sweater. So you'll see me all summer long in my house, probably with long yoga pants on and a sweater or a sweatshirt, while he is walking around in t-shirts and shorts. Okay, this is just not working out for me tonight. For some reason, these glue dots love my skin. So we're just going to put that there. Okay, then we've got this little one. We're just going to put a little adhesive on there. And we're just going to put that right over there. Sending hugs. Now, I didn't take it all. What is my problem tonight? I'm having a very rough night. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got this. Now I'm going to, you'll notice I have my Stampin' Pierce net, because I'm going to poke a little hole in here with my pick tool. If you don't have a pick tool, you can use your paper snips. And I'm going to kind of punch it through quite a bit. Okay, so I want it to be pretty big. So I'm going to take some linen thread. If you have linen thread, baker's twine, you know, whatever you want. We're going to stick it in here. Now I'm going to cut this. And then we're going to add one of these cute trinkets, leaf trinkets that came in with the set. I just lost my feed. I hope I'm still live. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to put this on there. Let that kind of free float. And then we would tie this onto that ribbon, just like I did here. I'm not putting the ribbon on here because I want to actually put some stuff in here. But you know, you can put, if you made these cards, we can get some envelopes, stick them in there. You know, 3 or 4 cards in here, an envelope. You know, nice. I know school's over, but that would have been a nice end of year teacher appreciation gift. You know, just somebody's a hostess gift. You're going to someone's home for the 4th of July. You know, make a bag, throw a couple of cards in there, and, you know, thanks for having me over. And that is what it would look like with the ribbon on there and our little tag just attached to that ribbon. All right, so that is it for this edition of Stamping with Crafty Klock. I hope I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope whatever you're doing, you have a wonderful day. Be with family and friends. Enjoy. Bye now.